Now then, people, it's Joe or Leeds TV, and it is your transfer deadline day special. We are live on YouTube. As I say, we said we would do this throughout the day. I do believe Conor will be doing the live stream a little bit later on. What I will do is just wait for a few people of you to join. I understand, obviously, it is only 10 o'clock. A lot of people at work. So we might not get a lot of people in, but as I say, we will endeavour to have a chat about Leeds United's transfer business. So it has been confirmed by the club, one in the door, the keeper on loan from Lorient or Lorient, however you may pronounce it. So we'll have a little quick discussion about him. And it does look like, guys, that we have beat Bristol City and Dusseldorf to the signing of, a very exciting prospect in Nketiah, however you may pronounce it. But look, it looks like, and Phil's reported on The Athletic this morning, that's going to be Leeds' business done. Which has sort of brought me back down to earth with a bump, because I was hopeful that we would still get like a Nolan in the door as cover, Khalid, or even Ryan Kent. I mean, the fee getting mooted about was between 5 and 7. Are we really that skint? I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, Gary Davenport just reckon he thinks that Leeds could make a play for Ryan Kent late in the window. We will see, but let's get back to one that has definitely happened and one that is definitely in the door. The signing of under 20 French goalkeeper. I believe it's Ilian Meslier. So he's on a season-long loan. I know there's been a lot of speculation about how many loans were allowed. I do believe someone found a little loophole yesterday, which is obviously what the club will have looked into. If it's classed as an international loan, you can still play them in your match day squad. So whether that would mean we would hit the 5 quota or not is something that's up in the air. Because if the goalkeeper, who will be on the bench, is classed as an international loan, does that mean then we can still have 5 loans in the squad, on top of him? But it's good to see them get a keeper done, and it's good business by the club. I know a lot of people don't like it because Rads has sold BPF and then got another loan in. So what? It doesn't matter. We're a championship club. That's how the championship works, unfortunately, guys. We're not all cash rich. Centre-back in loan in January. So Tom Marshall's just asked, centre-back loan in January. It may be the case. I know I will get to some of your comments in a second, but some people still believe that the deal for Nolan and Khalid still could get done. Maybe they're not so much classed as major incomings because they may go straight into the under-23s. But it is another body for them to consider. But yeah, just on that loan situation, I'm not bothered, honestly. I see a lot of people say, why are we taking another team's player on loan? Look at Tammy Abraham at Villa last season. Look at Dwight Gale at West Brom. Why does it matter? They're going to be here. They're going to make us stronger. And arguably, we could be in the Prem next term based on the business that's been done. I do keep looking at my phone, because things keep coming through. As I say, I've just seen there, James Marshman has mentioned Carter Vickers from Tottenham on loan. Is that one that could be done? But then obviously Phil's reporting this morning that he sees that being the only deal. But yeah, look, I don't care if we had a loan squad of 11 players. These people say, oh, well, it means we're making another team's players better. And, at the end of the day, if we were in the Prem, we'd be looking to loan out the likes of Shackleton, the likes of Robbie Gotts, the likes of Edmondson. And they could go to a League One club or a Championship club and get better. And then it's how the Premier, the football world works. You know what I mean? And we'd be daft to not take them players on. And for me, I'm absolutely buzzing as well that we've beat Bristol City to the signing of Eddie Nketiah. For me, he's an absolute, quality player. I mean, you do not play in pre-season for Arsenal. The gaffer there obviously even considered keeping him. I've seen, even Arsenal fans say I would prefer him to stay as backup, to the likes of Lacazette and Aubameyang. Do you see what I'm saying? So he could have a Tammy Abraham style effect on our squad. He's obviously going to play for me, otherwise the deal wouldn't have been done. I think Bielsa, will have had to make assurances, but he gets them assurances from Marcelo Bielsa. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise he doesn't come in, does he? Arsenal aren't going to let a player of that quality who they want to get game time, who, let's be honest, he'd have probably played the 45 remaining games for Bristol City in this division. 100% he would have. They weigh them options up, and obviously have still chose Leeds United. So for me, he's going to get game time. And honestly, people will be excited by this. If he starts in this side and plays regularly, I will say now he gets more than Kamar Roof did last season. I genuinely believe that. Listen, he's scored in pre-season. I know it's only pre-season, but he's been up against tough opposition. A lot of people say, "Oh, you've never heard of this kid." Listen, he's played for Arsenal. I will find a tweet that was that put out that actually mentioned some of the stuff that, some of the games that he has played. But I'm really excited by the prospect. There's a tweet here from BBC Sport David Ornstein saying that it looks like he's coming to Leeds. He's been subject of interest for a number of clubs, but Eddie Nketiah is set to head to Leeds for the 2019-20 season. I'm just trying to find the tweet that there's one here 19 hours ago from a guy called Roy saying Arsenal young star Nketiah has rejected Leeds and has been speaking with Bristol City all summer and felt a connection with the club. Good loan move for Bristol. Yeah, of course, mate. Nice one. But yeah, let's have a look. I'm just trying to find the tweet where it said, some of his stats. I mean, he's been scoring goals for fun at under Premier League 2 level for England, and I think it's a real big coup and a real big change on other clubs' perception of Leeds United. The fact that a club of Arsenal's stature, of Arsenal's quality, are choosing to send him to Leeds United. Now, I know that might sound a bit daft, we're a big club as well. Yes, 100% we are. But we don't get these type of loans. We don't. The likes of Villa, etc. do, that have got a plenty of cash and genuine prospects. Until last season, until Bielsa, we ain't getting these type of players. But, I'm absolutely over the moon with that. I do hope that we still might get Kent. You never know. Do you know what I mean? You never know. I've been genuinely excited by the window for a change, I think it's been good business. I know we would all like cover at centre-back. Every single one of us would. Probably Orta and Rads and the rest of the team do. They've done before, but Bielsa doesn't see it. And I'm going to list you a number of names. I've done it many times, right? I've listed these names before. You might not agree, but this is the cold, hard facts, okay? And this, for me, is how Bielsa sees it, all right? So right back, okay? You have Luke Ayling, Stuart Dallas, Gaetano Berardi, Robbie Gotts, Jamie Shackleton can play there. Okay, there's 5 players. Left back, Barry Douglas, Alioski, Leif Davis, Dallas, even Berardi. Okay, you've got Clark O'Dea. All right, that's 6. Centre back, you have Liam Cooper, Ben White, Pascal Struick, Gaetano Berardi, Luke Ayling, Calvin Phillips. 6. Okay? Now, I know we'd all like to see a decent centre-back in. That's not what I'm saying. Don't get me wrong. I would like another in, even if it is Ryan Nolan who's going to go in the under-23s. But I would like a natural centre-back. But the point I'm trying to make to you is, for me, Bielsa sees that. I've just listed, 5 at right-back, 6 at left-back, 5 at centre-back. That's how Bielsa sees it for me. And that's why, if we don't go for Nolan, we haven't gone for a centre-back for me. You know, Carter Vickers has been mentioned, but I've not really seen it mentioned by people of note, i.e. Phil Hay, Graham Smith, etc. I know it's been rumbling on, but I just don't see it happening. We've probably heard from the likes of Phil Hay, etc. now. But yeah, that's the old centre-back situation. When Nketiah was mentioned, and obviously Ryan Kent as well, you know, Gary listed and I'm going to list them for you now. For me, to go for Eddie, if that is the only one we do, was the right decision, okay? And the reason I say that is because we have bodies on the wing, okay? We have bodies on the wing. And yes, probably Bielsa was looking to play Kent in the 10 and maybe mould him into a 10. But in the striking positions, we would have Patrick Bamford, and Bielsa said this himself. Brett Barron-Cross, you know, tweeted it out to say, you know, who Bielsa sees as strikers, okay? Patrick Bamford, Tyler Roberts, when fit, who isn't fit, he's due for an operation, and then I believe he'll have another layoff. Then he has to get up to speed. We're probably not going to see him till bloody Christmas. And then Jack Harrison, and maybe Costa. You know, maybe you could play Costa there. But it's not enough. However, if you add Ed Nketiah into that, it is enough, you know. And if you look at the wings, you know, we brought Jack Clark on loan, Jack Harrison on loan, Helder Costa, you have Pablo, you've got Alioski, you've got Dallas, you know, there is a plethora, you know, a number of wingers as well. Jordan Stevens, Jamie Shackleton could probably play out there. There's more, do you know what I mean? And this, I think, for me, it's the smartest business from the club's perspective to go after a striker option, especially with the loss of Roof. We've replaced Pontus with Ben White, and based on his debut, it was absolutely unreal, and I'll say Pontus who. But at wings, for me, we have adequate cover. The one we haven't replaced is Kamar Roof. However, if we bring in Eddie, I've said it, I'll make a bold prediction now. If he plays the number of games that Roof did last season, he gets more than 15. I genuinely believe that. For me, he gets more than 15. If anyone does see any news coming in as we're live, as I say, do let me know. I'll have a read through some of your of some of your comments. J Army, absolute legend, keeps me in the know all the time. Darren Kellett says, what's happening about the 2 signings, the lads from Inter? I don't know, mate. I know I can see here Liam Horsley, who again's always got his finger on the pulse. He thinks Nolan gets done, so that would be one of them in. I'm not too sure on Kalido. Tom Marshall, LUFC, who gave us a super chat, thank you very much for that, basically said centre-back loan in January. Maybe we do look at it again. I do think this time that if we were to get to January and we're in a similar sort of position we were last time, the club don't make the same mistake. I know a lot of people might disagree because a lot of people are just not on Rads anymore. They just don't like the guy. I think he's done great things for our club. However, I do think, you know, there is money there to be spent, and it should be spent. But what he has done for our club, if this is to be his last hurrah, if we didn't go up, he's made us an attractive prospect again. You know, under the likes of Bates, Chelino, and then numpties from Dubai. You know, no one of note really was ever going to come in. However, what Rads has done, if we weren't to go up, you know, we're an attractive prospect, aren't we, is what I'm saying. But I do think the club won't get it wrong in January this time if we were to be in a similar sort of position. Collaborator 72 says, the new Ian Wright, the new Thierry Henry, this is what I'm hearing. This has got to be good, hasn't it? Exactly, mate. He's got purse to burn. He knows where the goal is. He's scored goals in pre-season for Arsenal. Speak to Arsenal fans. They all rate him. I looked the other day and... earlier on today, and Arsenal fans were actually saying why we're letting him go. You know, and there is a lot of stuff. I think, had this have been Gale, everyone would be absolutely buzzing. Everyone would be absolutely buzzing. But because it's a lad who not a lot of people might have heard of or know a lot about, again, the club see a lot of fans see the bad side to it and go, oh, it's another loan, we're not spending cash, etc., etc. However, if it was Gale, people wouldn't be saying that. I think it's an absolute gem of a loan signing for Leeds United. Believe me. James Cole says, looking good, Joe. Do you think they are holding back funds and planning for January? Who knows, mate? That may be the case. LUFC Dave says, are we signing the kids from Inter? I hope we do, mate. Like I say, I do hope. I hope the Carter Vickers rumours true. I hope the Nolan and Khalida rumours are true. I've genuinely been excited by and looking forward to this deadline day. The fact it's finishing at 5, I like that. And also just the fact that Leeds are actually doing business. Tom Pearce might go. Does De Bott go? Does Anita go? Do we just pay Anita off? I'm not sure, but you know we've started well. We've got the goalkeeper in, who by all accounts is a decent prospect, and it makes business sense. Sell BPF, never rated him, wasn't going to get first team. He wanted first team, then he's gone to sit on Burnley's bench. We've got decent cash for him. I think we've had Burnley's eyes out, if I'm being totally honest. And then we've brought in a keeper on loan. It makes business sense for me. People might not agree, but it makes perfect sense because we have a number one. You might not like Kiko, you might not rate Kiko, but he is our number one. Hush Hush Gamer says Eddie and Costa definitely going up. This is what I'm saying. A lot of people don't see it as being a good window. For me, a lot of championship clubs, if they were bringing in Helder Costa and Eddie Nketiah, based on what you've got to remember as well, this squad, bar them two, got us to 3rd in the league. 3rd in the league, first season under Bielsa, under his methods. Continuity, we've kept the main nucleus of the squad. We've added Ben White. We've brought in Costa and Nketiah. Do you know what I mean? That, for me, is a good window. It's a good window. It is, man. I genuinely believe that. Liam Horsley says, Graham has just reported that we have an option to buy the keeper. There you go. That might make people, you know... a lot happier. LUFC Dave says Cameron Carter Vickers is he's going to Stoke. He's actually having a medical there. Fair enough. I think it's a gash move. I do not believe 70th minute coming on for Leeds United. Yeah, Conor always on the money. You know, like you say, 70th minute. Costa and Nketiah. I don't know how I'm pronouncing it because I've heard so many different pronunciations, and when I'm saying it, I'm thinking of people like, what the fuck's he going on about? Nketiah, however you want to pronounce it. I believe he gets goals. I'm asking Conor now, right? I'm asking Conor because he's watching the stream. I've just said, Conor, if Eddie, I'll call him Eddie now, plays the amount of games that Roof did last season, he gets more than 15 goals. That's my opinion. And like I've said, for me, he's going to get game time. Because Orta will have had to convince Arsenal and the powers that be that he's going to get game time. The only way he convinces them is by getting that from Bielsa. So for me, Bielsa's giving him the nod. Yes, I'm going to play him. I'll play him like, you know, with Roof. Does it mean, you know, in pre-season we've seen Bamford and Roof? Does that mean that that's the way he'll go? Nketiah and Bamford? Who knows? But I'm really excited by the prospect. And I personally think, even if we don't get any more in, it's a good window. Yeah, back to Cameron Carter Vickers going to Stoke. I don't think it's a good move. I don't think Stoke have done good business, personally. I think they've just got themselves a mid-table championship squad. That's just my opinion. I know Nick Powell's come in, decent player. I know, obviously, they've brought in, like, Gregory and stuff, and people expect them to get goals. I think a lot of it's to do with Nathan Jones. He's just not able to put his stamp on that Stoke squad. I know it's only one game in, but he's lost so many games now for them. I believe they were booing him as well. I believe, what's the fella called who they got from Wolves last season? Oh, it's going to do me head in, but when he got subbed off, they booed. Things aren't going well at Stoke, so I don't think it's a good move. But I never thought we were genuinely in, you know, for Vickers, because it wasn't really reported by our by our, you know, well-established, well-thought-of journals, i.e. Phil Hay at The Athletic and obviously Graham Smith. LUFC Dave said Nketiah scored against Burnley last game in the Prem. Oscar Peels asked about Kent. You know, I've seen Gary from Talking Shut, and I've seen a lot of people. The Kent thing still could come alive. Look, Liverpool want rid. They don't want another loan. They're asking for big money. Do they at the end go, do you know what, we'll take 5? Take him now for 5 with add-ons. You don't know, do you? Otherwise, they're going to have an unhappy player at their club. And he doesn't strike me as the type to get his head down and stay quiet. Do you know what I mean? He could be a bit of a nuisance, just my opinion. Is that something you want at Leeds? I don't think Bielsa would stand for it, but there you go. Sia Rand says, Irish Leeds fan in Sydney watching here. Come on, Leeds. Nketiah is a great signing. I agree. Thomas Clough says, I think that we will need to loan in a championship quality striker. Eddie Nketiah is going to be championship quality, believe me. He's going to be better than that, I personally think. Again, look at Abraham. Will he be playing for Chelsea this season? You know, we've seen a lot of players. I can't remember. Was it where did Danny Welbeck go out on loan when he initially went on loan from Scum, and he did all right? Do you know what I mean? Honestly, he's going to be a great signing, believe me. And everyone will see that when he starts getting game time. I just think it's awesome as well that we beat Bristol City. I put out a tweet. Someone told me he was due to have a medical, however he didn't go. I put out a tweet. I had a lot of Bristol City fans giving me grief over it. He's not going to go to your club. Lee Johnson has, you know, look what he's done with Webster. Look what he's done. I believe there's been a few players, I think, that have been and done bits at Bristol City, and they were like, oh, they'll choose Lee Johnson all day. One Leeds fan actually said to me, they'll choose Bristol City because it's easier for their scouting team to get to, like drive to. And I was like, wow, this is at Arsenal. You really think they're going to make a decision on a loan signing because Bristol's closer to Arsenal than travelling to Leeds? I don't even think you need to have scouts at the games, do you? The amount of, you know, recording equipment and stuff. I just thought it was mad. But yeah, anyways. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, I guess. Philip Million says, who do you think has done good business elsewhere in the Championship? I think West Brom have made some astute signings. Personally, the kid Romain Sawyers, I think they'll get another striker in as well. And I just like the look of them due to Bilic. Fulham, you know, keeping hold of Mitrovic, obviously Sessegnon. You know what's been positive for us? This, you know, I'm seeing that Moy could be on his way to Brighton. Morpé's gone to Brighton. Che Adams went to Southampton. Sessegnon's going to Tottenham. You know, there's a lot of decent players leaving the division and making Championship squads weaker. So that's a positive sign for Leeds as well. Them ones that are Championship, that I've been retweeting because I see Moy leaving Huddersfield leaves a big gap. They've still got Grant, and Grant's a decent player. But leaving, you know, Moy's a big gap in that Huddersfield side. Sessegnon, again, a big loss. A big loss to Fulham. You know, so I think we've done okay. Believe me, we've genuinely done okay. There's 200 and odd people in. If you've got any questions or any sort of in the know stuff you might know, please let me know. LUFC Dave said Pierce is going to Wigan, not Barnsley anymore. Yeah, that was mentioned late last night. Listen, good luck to Pierce. It hasn't really worked out for him, has it, at Leeds? I think we all had high hopes because of the state of Paul Heckingbottom's tenure, and when he brought in the likes of Edmondson and Pierce and all these that did okay, you think, oh, yeah, they've done a good job. But what we've got to remember that we were in such a dire state in terms of performances on the pitch under Heckingbottom that any sort of youth that showed willing and put graft in was gonna be positive for us and have a positive stand. However, are they really up to the quality? You know, we've seen quite a lot of them move on, and I think it's a good move for him. Go to Wigan. You know, it'll be tough. You know, you'll get a lot of experience from Wigan. I think they'll do well at home. I think they're really good at home. They've shown that, beating Cardiff on Saturday. Charlie Senior said Eddie is a like for Roof. I genuinely think he gets more goals than Roof. I cannot wait to see the kid. Honestly, I think he'll tear it up. Let's have a look. Yeah, Jayan Hirani says Nketiah could have possibly broken through to Arsenal's first team eventually through the Europa League. Stephen Bell says he doesn't think Ryan Kent will happen. Liverpool changed goalposts on a fee after agreeing player terms. Judy Inga says, listening from Sydney, love the channel, keep up the good work guys, hope we get Nketiah, if not him, let's get Diabala. As long as Diabala doesn't go to Scum, I'm not bothered. I'm waiting on him going before I put him in my dream team. I'm waiting on Coutinho as well, because he's going in my dream team if he ends up in the Premier League. It's Amelia says we need to sign more people. Do we have a replacement for Roof yet? He's on his way. He's travelling now to Ellen Road. Ben Jones says Arsenal Fan TV rate Eddie very highly. Looks like good business for us. 100% it is. Martin Maguire says, don't think the club needs Kent. We have plenty of wingers and players who can play 10. Striker is a must. Yes, that is the key point, isn't it? For me, I would like them both. I can see the reasons for Kent. We put out a poll on All Leeds TV. We put out it on Twitter. And to be honest, Kent won it, hands down, both on Twitter and on Instagram. 70 to 40 there. But it was like 60-40, 70-30. And yeah, I understand that, but maybe it's an unheard option for a lot of people. I'm not professing to be, knowing everything, but I know he's an exciting prospect. You don't play for Arsenal if you are gash. Yeah, so Cronky out. So Conor has just retweeted at Cronky out, which is obviously Arsenal. Have just said great signing for Leeds United is Eddie Nketiah. Good luck, Eddie. So they'll be excited to watch him under Bielsa as well and see a player develop. I bet he can't wait, to be honest. And I'm absolutely buzzing. I personally think it's been a good window. Please tell me what you guys think. I think it's been a perfect window. Like Conor said earlier in the stream, bringing off the bench Helder Costa and Eddie Nketiah, that is a positive window. Plus the nucleus of the squad, plus a reinvigorated Jack Harrison, plus Jack Clark, and Ben White. Ben White looks a Rolls Royce of a centre-back. So I think it's been very positive. And obviously we brought in keeper cover and actually made money on the sale of BPF. Makes perfect sense. HXRMLUFC says Ben White was such a good signing, 100%. Wonder 87 times 1 said bottle jobs. We'll see this season. Put your money where your mouth is. We will see. Listen, if you're a Derby fan, you are bottle jobs. Yes, our nerve went. The players' nerve went. But listen, we ain't bottle jobs. You'll see this season. Chrissy Spencer says, what are your thoughts on BPF going to Burley? I don't care. I never really rated him, honestly. I think he would have arguably got the same amount of abuse or vitriol from fans as Kiko had he not come through our youth setup. What people don't know is, well, they might know, he was actually Darlow. He's a Borough lad, I believe, and he's from Darlow, but he was at Borough. We got him from Borough. But yeah, I never really rated him, and people might disagree, and he might go on to have a great career, but I just never really rated BPF. Brief Footballer said it's Nketiah, so thank you. Dwayne Greenway says the Arsenal striker is travelling up to Leeds for medical, according to Leeds News. Apparently those Inter players will be signed today. The new keeper needs to be given a chance by some fans. If people are writing him off already, it's absolutely mental, so whoever that is, please rein it in. And I hope the Inter lads are coming in, because as I say, I've seen Phil here tweeted out and said that our business will be done if Eddie gets done. Ben Wolstenholme says all the signings are shit hot. Not gonna lie, agree with you, mate. I haven't heard that for ages. Shit hot. Let's have a look. Conor, definitely the kid is fucking lethal, mate. He is ideal for what we need. I'm gonna stick and call him Eddie. Call me Ty. Jasper Baird says morning, Joe. Morning, fella. I think I think Conor's going to be very lucky because obviously he's going to have the chance to announce the Eddie Nketiah loan. I will need to sign off soon, guys, because I need to get ready for work, unfortunately. Carl Gosling says we've already replaced Janssen with better. 100% agree. Ben White is better suited to our style of play. Gary Byers says, who needs Jim and his tie when you have Joe in his garage? You pronounce the N first, so Nketiah, I think, has pace to burn and a great finisher. 100%. I cannot wait to see him. Baggies Forever says, just a West Brom fan coming in. Hi mate. Luke Speck says, oh my god, Abraham loan to Leeds. Just breaking on Sky, that's a load of tosh. Wonder 87 times 1, who called us a bottle job, is obviously a Huddersfield fan. He has just said Moy is going nowhere. I guarantee you Aaron Moy joins a Premier League club before 5 o'clock. Dominic Bateman says, I cannot wait to give Bristol fans abuse when Eddie signs for us. Nor can I, mate. I don't know if you see my preview. Hopefully you did. I actually spoke about Lee Johnson and said he was a bit of a bell end and that I hope we beat them. And a Bristol City fan actually cropped it and sent it out on the Bristol City Twitter. And a lot of people were going, what a knob, etc, etc. As you'd expect, calling me embarrassing. It is what it is. You know, you have a section of fans that believe fan channels are just gash. It is what it is. It's just, I'm just a fan like anybody else, just talking about the club that I love. I like to think I've got a little bit of knowledge and I do all right. But anyway, moving on from that. He actually quoted the tweet and said, and tagged in Lee Johnson and said, Lee Johnson, just show the players this video. It will get them up for the game. Let's hope we beat them. Like, I didn't realise I was that important. Can you imagine, like, Jeju and all that, and Callum O'Dowd sat in dressing room watching me? Like that, we're going to show that, Wainman. But yeah, they genuinely felt that he was going to go there. For me, it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer. But also, it shows the way the club's come on, because previously we don't get this loan. Arsenal doesn't send this player to us a couple of seasons back, honestly. So I'm absolutely buzzing. Baggies Forever says, I think us and you will go up in the automatics. Hope so. LUFC Dave said Bristol just signed someone. Yeah, it looked like they'd signed. Well, they signed someone yesterday as well, and we all assumed it was Eddie, but thankfully it wasn't. But you sort of could. They started rumours coming out a little bit about maybe Bobby Reid, and also there was Bobby Reid and Naki Wells mentioned, and I thought they're looking elsewhere. Like I said though, I did say someone had said that he was due to go to Bristol City for a medical. I tweeted that out, and then Phil confirmed it yesterday. And he never showed, so you can imagine them sat there going, where is he? Eddie? Eddie? Eddie! But it never happened. So I'm absolutely buzzing. Let's have a look. Thomas Clough. There's also a striker called Alan Sousa who plays in the Belgium league and he's pacey and 5'9" and gets at least 10-22 goals every campaign. That may be the case, but as I say, it's not happening for us. SJ Wilson says, I can't believe you took a day off work for transfer deadline day. I haven't, mate, but last season I did, and it didn't go well because we didn't get, it was January, we didn't get Dan James. I waited until about midnight, and it didn't happen. I even had my suit on the lot, and it just never happened, which was absolutely gutting. But no, I'm starting at 12, mate, so I need to get ready soon. Mega Exploit says, with the amount of chances we created last season, Nketiah should be able to put them away. If we had him last season, we probably would have gotten promoted. Unadulterated Dad said, is that Cameron Carter-Vickers actually linked, or is that bullshit? I've seen a few sporadic links, but nothing concrete, and someone said earlier on in the stream that he might be going to Stoke. Bobby Bancroft says, I personally think a lot of our fans are underestimating how good Nketiah is because they don't know who he is. 100%, mate, I agree with you. There will soon be a changing of opinion once he pulls on the famous white shirts and starts banging in goals. The guy's got pace to burn and he can finish. Believe me, he's exactly what we need. I've said, and Conor agreed, and I know a lot of you will probably agree, if he plays the same amount of games as Roof, he gets more goals. He gets more than 15. I might actually put a bet on once it's confirmed that he gets over 15 goals. I think you'll get decent money for it. Owen Jacko 1919 says Costa it was the best signing we've made in years. Yeah, we haven't seen much of him yet. We've only played one game, but Costa will rip the league apart and keeping Calvin at the moment. We will keep Calvin. Calvin's going nowhere, believe me. I think Villa was the only genuine interest. They've signed someone else in that position. So Sheffield United fan messaged me, a fan of the channel, and says, "Oh, I've seen I've seen that he might be going to Sheffield United." It was reported by the Daily Star. Never happening. Let's have a look. Albs NF. I'm an Arsenal fan, and it's really annoying that you're getting Eddie. He is a mad player, and we could have utilised him in domestic cups this season. We rate him highly. Well done, lads. That's straight from the horse's mouth. And I understand you would like to use him in domestic cups, mate, but surely you would prefer him to go get, you know, 45 games possibly for Leeds United, if not more, if we have a cup run. We'll probably get to final at FA Cup and League Cup this year, if I'm being totally honest. I was only joking. Semi-final. But yeah, he'll get game time, and he's going to learn under Bielsa, who's arguably a better coach than the majority of coaches around. So believe me, it's going to be a good thing for you. And I'm not of that, oh, well, he's alone, we're training him for someone else. So what? We have players out on loan. That's how football works. If he gets me to the Prem and goes to Arsenal, I don't care. Look at Ben White. I said last night on the stream on the Conor and Joe show with Mr. Dor on tour. If you haven't watched it, go onto Instagram, Conor and Joe show. Make sure you watch it. I said last night, Ben White arguably could probably go, after he's spent a season at Leeds, probably never play for Brighton, because I think he could be that good that a top Premier League side takes him. And he doesn't even play for Brighton. He'd probably go back on loan and go straight out somewhere else. That's just how it works, you know. I'd rather him be here than at another club making them stronger. Dave Webster says, "Morning, Joe. Thanks for the news. No worries." Tasha, All Leeds TV says, "Where's your suit, Joe?" Yeah, I decided against it this year. I've got work. I've got work in a bit. I don't wear suits for work. I just decided against it. I got a bit of grief, didn't I? Yeah, anyway. Leather Sandals says, "Tasha, the only human who can hold a camera steady in the South Stand." Aye, that's pretty, yeah, that's quite true, actually. Raw's LUFC 10 says, "I know he's good, but I just know he won't be started," which is disappointing. Who? If you're talking about Eddie, I think he is going to have a big part to play. The reason I say that is Arsenal want him to get game times. Bristol City have a history of developing decent youth players. Let's not kid ourselves. And he would go there and he would get arguably 45 games. Because the guy up top, Jeju, for me is gash. He replaces Jeju and gets 45 games. So the fact that Leeds have got him tells you that we've made assurances to that football club that he will get game time. Otherwise, Emery doesn't send him here. Arsenal don't send him here. Bielsa has to give Emery assurances. He's spent a hell of a lot, I think it was Tuesday, working on the deal, giving them assurances. The only way Orta can give Emery and Arsenal assurances is by getting them from Bielsa. So Bielsa must have said to him, "Okay, yeah, I'm happy. No go on Kent if that is to be the case. Get me Eddie, I will give him game time." Roof was always going to get game time. Eddie is the perfect replacement for Roof. So he's going to get game time, believe me. And, as I've said, he gets more goals than Roof. Let's have a look. Got you on mute because I'm at work. Shush. Any news on the lad from Arsenal? Can you give me a thumbs up if there is? Paul Warwick, "Joe, calm down on White. Too soon to get overexcited. Looks a great talent, but it's just too soon." I don't agree, mate. I don't agree. I think he's a Rolls Royce of a centre-back. And I don't think I'm getting overexcited. I genuinely think he is that good. And I think a lot of people agree as well. You know, someone said, you know, one of the Sky guys, the guy who, not Paul Robinson, but the other one said it's arguably the best debut he's seen in the Championship at that level. What you have to remember as well, he's plied his trade at League 2, where he's had a deal with the likes of Akinfenwa, John Stead, Parkin, these sort of players, right? That are going to bash you about. He's dealt with them. He's then made the step up to League 1. and had a brilliant season under Peterborough. He's now in the Championship. I'm not getting carried away. This isn't a player who's just been plucked from obscurity and only played bloody Premier League under 20 level or whatever it is, Premier League 2 level. He's plied his trade at League 2, you know, where you're talking. Look at Akinfenwa. You know for a fact, man, he's putting his body about. John Stead as well, you know, players of this ilk. That have been about the bush and know all the tricks of the trade. Trust me, he's plied his trade at a decent, you know, and made the step up well. Mega Exploit says, and we know how Bielsa's been loyal to his players. If Nketiah starts banging in goals, he will play majority of the games over Bamford. Yes. Andrew Saxton said, Bristol City and their supporters must be seething at Leeds United right now. 100%, mate, you are right, they will be. Now, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I've caught up with your comments. I've enjoyed that stream. This will be on the channel. I also need to film my Nottingham Forest preview, so look out for that. Conor's preview's out as well. And make sure you keep notifications on Twitter and on YouTube, because as I say, Conor will be live later on, no doubt, once we've announced the signing of Eddie Nketiah, Ryan Kent, Ryan Nolan and Kalido. Fingers crossed, people, but thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you all later. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds!